I think having access to new media has really changed the way that we communicate with one another.
It gives us the power to speak to hundreds, even thousands of people with the click of a button.
You're instantly local and global simultaneously.
And that's allowing for a lot more creative and intellectual discourse.
I can use it anytime, anywhere.
I use social media every single day of my life, multiple times a day.
It's completely changing the way we interact with people and how we network.
With blogs and Twitter and Facebook, we have the ability to share information in a less censored way.
If you understand media literacy and how things can be recreated or broken down, challenged, shaken up, that's part of social change. And social change is always very important.
Youth in some ways are engaging in communications through new media in ways that schools have not caught up with yet.
And there's nothing really in school that determines how students should learn that, and actually breaking it down and deconstructing it.
The issue is that the pathways to those resources are not clear.
So a lot of students aren't getting filmmaking programs or media programs or music programs in their high schools.
They don't have none of that at school. Well, not my school.
I think if schools can't do that, the library and maybe libraries all across the nation can do that. That's exciting.
The library in San Francisco has a huge main library downtown in the Civic Center.
We have so many free resources at the public library. We have access to computers, public computers, people can use the internet, work on their resumes, lots of free access to research and information.
We always had specific teen collections and specific programming for teens, but we didn't always have a really clearly designed space that really made teens feel welcome.
Currently, teenagers think of a library as a really boring place where people just read books and whatever.
I think right now the center is just a couple tables and a banner that says Teen Center.
Which is not a really cool place for teenagers to be at.
The last time I looked at the statistics, we had about 370,000 or so library cards in San Francisco, and it's really about 27,000 or so teens in that group. But we'd really like more of them to have library cards, to visit the library more often, to feel comfortable, and to be able to do the things that they are most interested in.
I'd like to see a sort of more permanent teen center with more technology.
We're going to be able to make videos there, we're going to be able to make websites, do graphic design, we're going to be able to make music, all this cool stuff. But in order for us to get there, we need to work with you guys to figure out exactly what we should be doing in that space.
Technology is a big part of teens' life, and that's why having a media-based program is important, so it would get more teens to come to the library.
It's important for teens to plan the new Teen Media Center because sometimes adults don't know what's best for teens or what interests teens.
As a youth advisory member, we have so far been in meetings sort of discussing what our vision is for the Teen Center and sort of talking about what the Teen Center right now is lacking and what we'd like to see there in the future.
The center at the main library would represent what teens have chosen as their tools, their way to communicate, that the center would reflect their needs and ever-changing needs.
Teens can actually come and experience some new technology they've never used.
A lot of it is going to be studios and a lot of film equipment.
Programs like Photoshop, Illustrator, Flash.
A green screen, DJing, turntable.
I've always wanted to be a DJ since I was little. If we have a sound booth, people who want to get into DJing, they could try it out. It's expensive to rent a studio, and they could just come here for free.
Having a space to get creative and use technology in an interesting way.
It's like the hub of learning, creativity, art, and something that we're not afraid to share ideas with others and collaborate.
Really, the changes I think we need to make are to allow the resources and technology to be present in a space so that teens can learn to become creators of the digital space instead of just consumers.
So how can we get these kids that are on their phones, they're texting, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, to step away from this act of just communicating and turn it into an act of action?
Recently, we've seen through Twitter and Facebook that even just one person could start a revolution or a big idea. So hopefully this will empower people to really say what they believe through a lot of different online programs and platforms.
Because of how prolific technology is in our society today, it's not only important, but it's necessary for us to be able to raise a generation of young people who want to make change in the world.
I think that it would help kids in hard situations grow because they would hear their own voices, they would see their creativity manifested, and there's something incredibly powerful about doing that.